Well, certainly with paper, it was very cumbersome because there basically was no locator system to determine where the product was. So basically, the operators had to remember where roughly the paper or where the product was. So that was very cumbersome, very time consuming. It was very prone to error. With RF, obviously, we have a locator system, so it was much quicker, much faster to do that. However, there's still input into an RF unit. There's still the view to the RF unit to understand what that product is and where it is.
I was around for the whole RF implementation. I worked on as a project member on the 5.5 version of Red Prairie. And, when we won't say that RF was a problem, the possibilities of Vocollect, where you take the operator's eyes off the RF screen, you take the operator's hands off, there's a great deal of possibility, certainly in our cluster pick area, which was the area we focused on. I saw the value there immediately, and the payback was there immediately as well when we started looking at the touch points between RF and the Vocollect processing of orders. It was really a no-brainer how we wanted to go forward with this.
And then when we went with Vocollect, it's a seamless process. So basically, the operator can multitask at the same time. They can listen to an instruction. They can be moving to the location that they need to move to get the product. They can look for the product because the system has told them audibly what the product is. They'll find the product and they'll scan the product, and then they will confirm that to the system, all without having to look at an RF or punch in data.
I like being hands-free because I can tackle more things at one time. You're able to do, like I said, you can handle a box, pack it, and still be in the next order and asking a question about your next order. Compared to an RF, you have to wait for each process to fully go through first before you can have to complete that before you can even ask a question with the second one. With Vocollect, I can be in the order already, asking it to repeat itself, double checking what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be picking as I'm sealing up the last box and putting the label on. So I'm always at least 2 or 3 steps ahead of myself now to make sure. And then by the time I get to the skid, I don't have to put an RF down. I can ask it a question, and even if I make a mistake, because Vocollect is very precise in its SKUs and quantities, it will not allow me to make a mistake. I can ask it again, and it will not allow me to make a bad pick.
The progress of paper to RF and then to Vocollect, again, we wanted to have efficiencies through voice-directed work, hands-free, which is a huge benefit for us because it makes the process very fluid. It's not a stop-start type of scenario like we have with RF. So that was very beneficial for us.
Things went a lot faster when we went from paper to RF. It was like jumping into a new century. Now that we have Vocollect, it's like we've taken another leap, and I'm really enjoying having come this far and seeing all the changes.